Alright, so this will be part 2 of my labor and delivery video. I left off telling y'all that I was leaking everywhere as I was being admitted into the hospital. So after that, I laid in the bed and they had me sign all the paperwork and talked about the C-section stuff. And I went ahead and consented because well, obviously my water broke for a reason. So either she was in distress or they weren't really sure if she actually was 35 weeks or if I was already full term. So because of that and because my contractions were so close together, I went ahead and consented to having the C-section. We just had to wait for the anesthesiologist and the doctor on call to come into the hospital. So by that time, oh, did I mention times? I don't think so. But my water broke around 2 to 2:15, and then we got to the hospital around 3 o'clock.
Please stop.
Stop. So by the time I had looked at the clock again, there was no clock in my room, and there was no clock in the recovery room either. But by the time I found out the time again, it was already after 4 a.m. and they called my husband in, and Yvette, get off of your butt. Now you're rubbing it everywhere. No, stay like that. The dog came in and splattered mud everywhere. Not over there. Now you're just spreading it. Just do it where there is mud. So yeah. My husband came in and he was dead tired, so he was just sitting there like a rock, a bump on a log. And they had me hooked up to the contraction monitor. And now that well, after the fact, I was thinking about it. I was like, I wish I knew how intense my contractions were, because they were, at the very end, unbearable. And I probably would have ended up asking for an epidural anyways. But I didn't, and at that time, everything was going so fast. It didn't even feel like 2, 3, 4, 5, like 3 hours. It felt like everything happened within an hour after my water breaking. So yeah, the nurse said that I was in active labor, and as soon as everybody was ready in the OR, that they would go ahead and wheel me in. And before I knew it, they were wheeling me in to the OR. So before I was rolled in, the anesthesiologist came in. He went over everything, asked me the last time I ate, my height, my weight, and all that good stuff. And they also asked who my doctor was so that they can get the records sent over ASAP, which I don't even know if I ended up getting the records, because they kept asking me questions like, are you sure you're 35 weeks? Did you have your anatomy scan? How far was the baby measuring? And all that good stuff. So at 4:55, I was wheeled into the OR, and got me set up to get the epidural. As soon as I was in there, they said, come on, you have to hurry up, you have to hurry up, you have to hurry up. They were rushing me. And with me having contractions, it was super painful to move during one. I was like, don't touch me. And she was like, come on, sweetie, you have to get into position so the doctors can do what they have to do and get your baby out and all that good stuff. So, I actually wasn't that nervous as I was in my other 2 previous C-sections. In my other ones, I was all nervous and shaky, and obviously I didn't know what to expect, and the epidurals for me with the past 2 ones was the worst part. So I was a little nervous about getting the epidural, especially during, well, with me having contractions and everything. Um, so they scooted me onto the smallest table ever and had me sit up. And by that time I was able to see the time. I was watching the time. So by that time it was 5 o'clock, and they had me hunch over, and the anesthesiologist was ready to go, and he was super nice. I must have thanked him like 50 billion times, because it was the fastest, quickest. I guess he was super accurate, and it was painful, but he did it so fast that and in between contractions, he was asking me, okay, are you having a contraction now? I'm like, no, 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 I'm not. So he did it right in between contractions, so I was very thankful for that. And then by 5:10, the doctor came in, introduced himself, asked me if I was having any, and if I had any complications during the pregnancy, and I was like, no, I just had diabetes. And I said I was super good about my numbers, and I'm ready to have this baby. So that was that. My husband came in, and he was sitting right next to me, and we were laying there, kind of just chillaxing, talking, and and right on the drive over here, like 2 blocks away from the hospital, we're like, what are we gonna name this baby? So we decided on a name in the car, and we decided no middle name. My other 2 girls and everybody else in my family except my sister and myself have middle names. So we decided on no middle name. So we were talking about the name, and I'm like, oh, I really like it. I'm glad that we decided before she was born, and blah blah blah. And we were just relaxed and excited, and I was just waiting to hear her or to see her and everything. So yeah, at 5:18, they delivered her, and like a minute later took her. Well, actually, she let out a yelp as soon as they pulled her out, and then it took her probably about a minute to actually let out that newborn cry that it's a cry that you're waiting for. And I'm like, oh my god, is she gonna cry? Is she gonna cry? But yeah, he's like, they were saying she's fine, she's fine. And they were cleaning her up, and I was like, oh my god, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see her. I was super excited to see her. I just wanted to see her. And then the anesthesiologist said, okay, I'm going to give you some medication to relax. So he gave me that, and as soon as he did, I was like, oh my god, I'm super sleepy. But yeah, I did feel relaxed, and I just kept thanking him. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then a nurse brought over my little bundle of joy, which I would show her to you, but she's not here. She's at her doctor's appointment, her 2-week checkup. So yeah, she was born at 5:18, and her name is Annaleah, Annleah. So we are super in love with the name. I'm already getting choked up. But yeah, my husband followed her to the nursery. They said everything was fine. They stapled me up. The doctor congratulated me. He walked out of the room, and I was wheeled into recovery. And by 6 o'clock, I was back. I was in the recovery room. And that was pretty much it. I fell asleep, and the next thing I know, I don't even know what time I woke up, but I woke up, and my husband was there, and he told me that she was on oxygen. That was the only thing that she was low on, or she wasn't at 100% or something like that. So they weren't able to bring her into the room. I wasn't able to latch her for 2 days. They had to keep her in the nursery. She wasn't in the NICU, thank God, but she was in the nursery on oxygen and on all the monitors, checking, just keeping an eye on her. And I wasn't able to go see her again until I was able to get out of bed, take a shower and stuff. And I did all that by the second day, which was fabulous. With my other two, my back was super sore from the epidural, but with this one, the only pain I felt was soreness in my belly from all the tugging and pulling, I guess. No pain from the incision. The nurses were super good about massaging me, and I still was bleeding, obviously, down there. And yeah, by the third day, I was up, I showered, I went to go feed her. I was able to eat by the third day. They did keep me on Motrin the last day that I was there. I don't know why they didn't give it to me the first and second day. I didn't ask for it. They asked me if I wanted it, but no, I didn't want it. But the doctor did prescribe me the Motrin. So I was on that, as well as a stool softener. And we were both discharged at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on August 1st, which coincidentally is my oldest daughter's birthday, which is crazy. And my husband actually, I didn't think about it until a week ago, but he actually wanted her to be born on September 29th because him and his best friend and myself were all born different months, but on the 29th. So he was like, it would be super cool if she was born on the 29th. And I actually, I didn't go into labor on the 29th, but I was super close to going into labor on the 29th July 29th. But yeah, she was born on July 30th on a Monday at 5:18 a.m. She was 7 pounds, 0.63 ounces. I thought I saw somebody outside, but it was just a car. She was 19 inches long and born with a full head of hair. So yeah, everything went great. I was in and out of the hospital. The doctors were super nice. The nurses were super nice. And I'm so glad that I got to experience a part of having a natural birth, even though we ended up with a C-section. I'm totally fine with that. And then she went home in a cloth diaper, and I swaddled her as before we went home. My husband drove up with the car. Thanks to my mother-in-law, she brought us our car seat to take her home because we did not have that ready at all. I had the car seat cover washed, but it wasn't in the car. It wasn't hooked on or tied on to the actual base of the car seat. So yeah, we came home on Wednesday, and then we brought my husband went to the store and brought an ice cream cake. I'm already losing my voice. To celebrate my daughter's birthday, and we just spent the rest of these past 2 weeks home. We went to church this past Sunday, and we went to Target on this past Saturday. So that's the only places that we've been. We've been just enjoying our newborn, losing sleep, but enjoying all of the little smiles and laughs that she's done. She's also able to pick up her head and stuff, so that's exciting to see her growing already. So yeah, that's my labor and delivery video. If you have any questions or want to share your stories, feel free to leave a video response. I love watching labor and delivery videos. I hope mine wasn't too boring. I don't have no pictures. I don't have the baby. I don't have nothing. I was just resting from a busy day of doing housework with the baby out with daddy today. So I'll see y'all let's see, what's the next video I'm gonna do. I'll probably do the 2-week update when she gets home, so y'all can see her, and I'll do a postpartum belly shot, which is not pretty, but I'm gonna share it with y'all. That way you know what to expect. Haven't done any exercises. My diet has been okay. So yeah, and then I'll do my postpartum doctor update as well. Thanks. Bye.